The Patriots already paper thin at wide receiver, having released Jordan Matthews and Malcolm Mitchell, having Julian Edelman serving a 4-game suspension, and with Danny Amendola in Miami, they went and released receiver Kenny Britt yesterday. And in an effort to quell questions, Bill Belichick said he's not interested in Dez Bryant. All right, CC, what was your reaction to the Patriots releasing yet another receiver yesterday?
I'm not surprised. I didn't think Kenny Britt, when he signed with the Patriots, that he was the type of Patriot player that could do that for a long time. Now, have the Patriots kind of coveted a big receiver? Yes, they have. Ever since Randy Moss left, they've never been able to have a big physical guy. But if you look at Kenny Britt, what's his skill set compared to what do the Patriots want to do? No, you knew that this is not a long-term fit. Patriots receivers, what do they have to be? They have to be able to play multiple positions. They have to be able to learn basically kind of a new passing scheme week after week. So they have to be really smart. I'm not saying Kenny Britt is not a smart football player, but I'm just saying he's one-dimensional. He is your typical big X receiver, only plays to the boundary, doesn't go in motion. He's not fast enough to be a flanker. And the other thing, the reason why I didn't think he was a long-term fit was because he doesn't run with the football after the catch well. We know what New England likes to do. They like to be able to throw the ball around, but they love for a guy to be able to make that first person miss. Don't see that skill set, so not surprised that they also with his hamstring that they parted ways.
But when they signed him at the end of last year, they knew he could only play the one position, the X position. They still decided we'll bring him in, see if we can get anything out of him.
The reason why that was an advantage because he had all the OTAs, all the training camp, so he had a better chance of being able to do that. But most of that time, he's had a bad hamstring.
No, but the reason I bring that up is the Pats just dismissed out of hand almost Dez Bryant. And I listen, a lot of the things you're saying Patriot receivers have to be able to do are things Dez is not known for doing. It's one of the reasons we have not connected Dez to the Pats throughout this entire process. Play multiple positions, nope. Be a guy that is considered a really smart football player. That at least wasn't his reputation in Dallas. But at some point, I would think you would say, okay, well, right now, Chris Hogan is our most accomplished receiver that is coming back to the team. Philip Dorsett, who was on the team week 1 of last year. He wasn't there for training camp, but they traded for him right before the season started. He had 18 catches. Danny Amendola for the season. Danny Amendola's gone. Cooks is gone. Edelman's gone for the first month. I would consider, if I were New England, doesn't sound like they will, but if I were New England, I would consider doing something that is not Patriot-esque, because this is as bereft of talent of a receiving corps as we've seen them have in the Tom Brady era, dating back to the Troy Brown, Deion Branch days. Like, it's hard to find the guys who are going to have 60 catches, much less 90 catches.
Well, they're depending on Hogan having a tremendous year and also the number of running backs. I could see 3 of their running backs catching the ball 50 times. So that's the way they're going to do it. And what they can't afford right now is an injury to Rob Gronkowski. Because besides Brady and Belichick, Gronk is so valuable. And the one thing that New England will do as an offense, they will go through so many different formations. They're going to go a lot of motion. They're going to do a lot of shifting. You're not going to know where the guys are. So they're going to use a little hocus pocus, to try to be successful, and especially to get through that first 4 games until they get Edelman back, Jenna.
We talked earlier in the week about sort of how light that offensive line is right now and how they really need to shore that up. And today we're talking about how light that receiving core is and how they're going to need to do something. And yet if we fast forward to the very end, we're like, oh, but it's the Patriots. They're going to be okay with whatever personnel they put out there. At some point, you got to start worrying. Tom Brady has to throw the ball to someone. Tom Brady's going to need a little protection to be able to throw the ball to someone. At what point, guys, do we get to the place where we say that team needs a little bit of help now?
I mean, I'm already there. And if they were in maybe any other division in the NFL, I would be greatly concerned, even with Brady, even with Belichick. But when you know, like, okay, so the first process for any NFL season, for any team that wants to win a Super Bowl, is win your division. We know they've done it. Teams have done it from the wild card, but it's so much harder. You have the extra playoff game. You're not going to play any home playoff games. So the first step is win your division. And I look at the Bills. and their quarterback battles between A.J. McCarron and a raw rookie in Josh Allen. I look at the Jets. They're going to be starting Sam Darnold in week 1. And I look at the Dolphins. They're going to be starting a quarterback in Tannehill who I didn't think was very good at his best, and he hasn't played football in over a year. Like, he's been on the Andrew Luck plan. We just haven't talked about it because it's Ryan Tannehill and the Dolphins. Like, so when you feel like their division is a given, and that means they don't really have to have things figured out till December, they're just in a more advantageous position than any other team in the league.
Yeah, it's going to be, this is not the first time we've looked at New England and thought, Jenna, you know something? They need more talent. But, Nick, as you pointed out yesterday, I think, how many years in a row with 12 wins?
Every year since 2010. 12 wins, not 10 wins, 12 wins.
So it's not how are the Patriots going to score, how are the Patriots going to win? And they're going to do it, but a variety of different ways. But you can say that their confidence in Tom Brady, based on the people they have him playing with, they couldn't have more confidence in Tom Brady than this year, because they're going to need Tom at his absolute best to be able to play with this lack of a household name, lack of a dominant, a speed guy on the outside. Like, they do have a number 1 receiver in Gronk, so let's not forget that. I think because he's a tight end, people think, oh, you can't have a tight end that's number 1 receiver. Oh, yes, you can. And in New England, it's Rob Gronkowski.
You made a good point yesterday that if teams are going to get to the Patriots, you want to get to them